Mr. Gardeners. I'm hiking in a watershed, Loch Raven watershed, and 2 weeks ago I was in here hiking and I saw these unusual plants that you can find in a wildflower book, but yet they're not your traditional wildflower. It's a parasitic plant and it's living under these beech trees. You can see this American beech behind me. This is Epifagus, is the species name, but this guy we're going to look at living underneath is called Epifagus americana. So this little, about 12-inch little parasitic plant lives on the generosity of all of the beech trees in this area. And this little plant is called Beechdrops. Beechdrops sounds a little bit like candy in a candy store, but it's really more closely related to a vampire because it's sucking juice out of the beech trees and it lives on the sap there, because this particular plant, when I say parasitic, it means it has no chlorophyll of its own. So when you're out hiking, you're not going to easily see this guy because he's not green. But he's stealing nutrients from the beech tree. He has little root system on him. They're not called roots. They're really called haustoria. And the haustoria are living in the soil area, and they're reaching into the root systems, getting in among the cells to steal water and nutrients that they need to live. So come on over. Let's take an up-close look at it together. It's unique, and it's not one you're going to notice easily. So if you're out hiking, here we are, it's Maryland, and we're in November, and this is a nice size one. Well, here, I'll hold it with the beech tree behind it. That's even better. So there you can see the sun shining on it. It's getting ready to come into flower. Let me see if I can get close so you can see. So the flowers, it has sort of a purplish color on the tips. Can you see those purplish tips? Very unique, real stiff branching. That's one reason you'd know it. But if you saw it in the woods and you didn't know better, you'd say, oh, that's a dead plant. But this is not a dead plant. It's actually a living plant that you can find in a typical wildflower guide. This is native to the eastern part of the United States. It's even present all the way up through Canada, even down through Texas. The height, this guy is probably what, nine, for sure 12 inches on there. And the purple coloring is a little bit of a help. I don't understand fully all the flowers, but it does make typical flowers on it. Its science name is Epifagus americana, if I didn't already say that. So brown spiky stems, not very long lived. It's just going to live during this. It sprouted. I saw it 2 weeks ago when I was hiking in here with my dog. Supposedly the native Indians use this plant for its medicinal qualities, but it likes this dry woodland. I'm actually in a sloped area. Here's another beech over here. Look how small some of them are. Let me show you. Here's a little single one. You hardly even notice it. One little single guy, and then over here, here's another little single. And then sometimes there's clusters and sometimes they're just singles, but they do make a seed. They make their own little seed, and then the seed will spread, and that'll help them move around through the woodland. But it is a sign of a really diverse environment. So they're sort of a keystone species. You know, when you're talking about parasitic plants, I didn't know this before, but it comes into two different groups. You can have the group that are parasitic, like dodder, which is that orangey stuff that you'll see on some of your stems with no leaves, and mistletoe. All of you know about mistletoe. So those are considered stem parasitic plants. This guy is considered a root parasite, and it falls in a little different category. So there's a couple fascinating facts. If you're out hiking this weekend, it's early November, I want you to look underneath of the beech trees. I also saw this just this past week. There's another parasitic plant called squaw root, which can be found now. Most of them were dried up that I saw. But anyway, some fun facts about parasitic plants for you.